welcome back to Jedi Fallen Order. This will most likely be the last reading video of this game. We've been through all the databank entries, so now all that's left is the tactical guide with all the enemy types. Fun fact, I'm really tired because I don't know what time it is, but it must be like 4 a.m. or something. Because persistent as I am sometimes, I decided to record all these videos, called the Fallen Order videos, in one long session. And I'm kind of looking forward to getting it over with without being too harsh sounding, but when I record all videos I want to record for this game, I can delete it from the PlayStation and make room for Hogwarts Legacy, which I'm obviously excited to get started with. So yeah, without further ado, let's start with the first category, which is all the Empire enemies. Yeah, I guess I'll just read everything. I was thinking if I should read or leave out the italics parts, but I guess I might as well read all of it. So the first one is the Scout Trooper. Can block limited lightsaber attacks, but defense is easily diminished. Easily defeated in single combat, but dangerous in numbers. Imperial Scout Troopers are specially trained stormtroopers in service to the Galactic Empire for a range of missions. They are equipped with light armor for greater mobility and specialized helmets that allow for greater adaptability. Armed with electro-riot batons when blasters are identified as insufficient. They are especially skilled in melee combat, crowd control, and defense against a lightsaber. Then we have the Scout Trooper Commander, able to block, parry, and use specialized spin techniques. Stronger stamina than their subordinates. Scout Trooper Commanders lead squads of Scout Trooper Commanders lead squads of specially trained stormtroopers into combat for the Galactic Empire. Scout Commanders armed with riot batons are extremely adept in melee combat and should not be taken lightly. Just making sure there's no more, or there isn't any scrolling to do. Next, the classic Stormtrooper. May attack efficiently in large number. A lightsaber will reflect shots back at them. Probably my favorite move in the whole game is just reflecting shots. Imperial stormtroopers. stormtroopers are the frontline soldiers of the Galactic Empire. Specialized across the galaxy. They have been trained to support the might of the Imperial war machine and identify threats indiscriminately. Armed with a variety of weapons, including long-range blaster rifles, they are most efficient in large numbers where they may prove overwhelming. Next is the Stormtrooper Commander. Commands nearby stormtroopers, allowing focused and synchronized fire on targets. Equipped with grenades. Stormtrooper commanders lead their battalions into combat for the Galactic Empire. Recruited from countless systems, they have been trained to support the oppressive power of the Imperial war machine. Their strategy and proficiency with an array of weapons allows them to coordinate attacks, command group maneuvers, and launch deadly assaults. Next is the ATST. Susceptible to sabotage of its own grenades and missiles, legs are vulnerable. The All-Terrain Scout Transport, or ATST, also known as a Scout Walker, is a lightweight, bipedal, two-person transport deployed for ground force support in the Galactic Empire. They were often used for swift reconnaissance and targeting smaller threats that evaded the larger AT-ATs. Equipped with chin-mounted medium blaster cannons capable of firing at a range of 2 clicks, as well as side cannons armed with rockets and concussion grenades targeting enemy vehicles and ground troops at close range. Next is the security droid. These are pretty scary the first time you come across them because they're pretty tough and fast. Heavily built and easy to read, they are highly susceptible to parrying. Outdated system vulnerable to hacking by updated droid units. Imperial security droids, also known as KX series. KX series security droids are commonly used in service to the Galactic Empire. Formidable and specialized in close combat, these droids employ a combination of brute strength and rugged durability to capture and incapacitate enemies. They are equipped with a full comm relay, scramblers, and tactical programming. Next is the Flame Trooper. Find paths that outmaneuver the trooper. Flame rifle requires cooldown after use, close the distance and strike. The Flame Trooper is a specialized commando supporting the war machine of the Galactic Empire. Highly proficient in the use of incendiary weapons, their flame rifle has a range of roughly 10 meters, canvassing a wide but short range. Though limited in their agility, they make use of their weapon by restricting a target's freedom of mobility and forcing them into position. Although deadly, their flame rifle utilizes a combustible fuel source that requires time to cool down. Next is the Heavy Assault Trooper. Shielded, heavy long-range, rapid-fire weapon capable of sustaining numerous hits. Slow movement, long wind-up before firing, and cool-down period after attack provide opportunities to attack. The Heavy assault troopers are specialized infantry serving the Galactic Empire on the front lines of war. They are primarily trained to defend combat zones as support squads to stormtrooper patrols. They are highly proficient with the Z6 rotary blaster cannon, which fires off steady, rapid, long-range bursts capable of inflicting heavy damage, and shielded by a low emitter energy ray. Next is the probe droid. Some droids may have the ability to slice in and control probes' functions, as in BD-1 can do that. Capable of being physically maneuvered when used as a weapon. The sinister Imperial probe droid, also known as a probot, was an exploration and reconnaissance unit deployed by the Galactic Empire. This lightly armored probe is equipped with 6 manipulator arms extending from a central pod and several retractable sensor arms for gathering samples. High-resolution receivers and sensors covered the central brain core, including motion, acoustic, sonic, and seismic sensors, a radiation meter, magnetic imager, and holocamera. It carries an atmosphere sensor and hovers on a repulsor lift generator capable of maneuvering most terrain. Its primary directive is recon and surveillance of potential threats to the Empire, including insurgents, fugitives, and specialized targets. Next is the rocket launcher trooper. Manipulate and deflect projectiles using the Force. Trooper will reload after firing, providing time to close the distance and strike. Rocket launcher troopers are specialized stormtroopers serving the Galactic Empire's campaign over the galaxy. These deadly soldiers are armed with an RPS-6 smart rocket launcher, a long-range weapon that's incredibly difficult to deflect. Trained to eliminate insurgent activity, diminish uprisings, and quell dissent, they provide an effective means of ground support. Although menacing, their weapon must be reloaded after each shot, allowing targets to evade or attack. Next is the Electrobaton Purge Trooper. Armed with electrobatons, they may attack in flurries of quick strikes, but vulnerable after finishing the initial attack. An agile and shifty counter-attacker able to dodge and parry incoming strikes. The menacing Purge Trooper serves the Galactic Empire's Inquisitorious program to hunt down survivors of the treasonous Jedi Order, a specialized class of Imperial soldier trained and equipped with a variety of weapons and tactics. This elite group is few in number and keeps out of the public eye. Most citizens of the Empire are unaware they even exist. Of the Purge Trooper ranks, many are trained in melee combat using an electrobaton, providing an agile and deadly nemesis. Next is the Electrostaff Purge Trooper. Capable of counterattacks after being parried, remain vigilant, will briefly lower their defense at the end of combo attacks. Hunters of the Imperial Inquisitorious, the Purge Troopers track survivors of the treasonous Jedi Order, Operating in the shadows, they scoured the galaxy to assist Inquisitors in their sinister mission. This specialized class is skilled primarily with the Electro Staff, providing a lethal challenge to any lightsaber-wielding foe. Their agility and penchant for vengeance are displayed through a deadly combination of intuitive counterattacks and trained maneuvering. Next, the Purge Trooper Commander. Dangerous from a distance, make attempts to close distance quickly. Avoid shock grenade or use it to strike nearby stormtroopers. Agents of the Inquisitorius. Purge troopers are charged by the Empire to hunt down survivors of the treasonous Jedi Order. Operating in the shadows, their clandestine mandate is largely unknown, even among Imperial ranks, as they support Inquisitors across the galaxy. This specialized class is trained and equipped with a variety of weapons and tactics, but primarily attacks with blasters and shock grenades. Next, the Electro Hammer Purge Trooper. Slow, heavy weapon presents opportunities for preemptive strikes. Opportunity for counterattack during heavy attack recovery. Dreaded disciples of the Imperial Inquisitorius, the Purge Trooper hunts survivors of the treasonous Jedi Order. Combing the corners of the galaxy, this specialized operative is highly skilled in melee combat, employing an electro hammer as their primary weapon. While slow to strike, their electro hammer emits a deadly shockwave that stuns, inflicting heavy damage on a target, but takes time to recharge. These troopers wear bulky armor capable of withstanding lightsaber attacks. Next is the Ninth Sister. Deadly strong. Avoid close quarter combat. Less agile, utilize distance and maneuverability for strikes. A former Jedi, the Ninth Sister is an imposing and dangerous Dewutin Inquisitor. Her mastery of the Force is further enhanced by an extraordinarily natural, emphatic ability to read minds. While less agile than other Inquisitors, she utilizes her strength and wits to gain an advantage. And I'm not too proud to admit that during this boss fight I had to lower the difficulty to... or I'm not sure. I know I want to lower the difficulty to story mode, but I'm not sure I actually did. Because I'm sure I lowered it to story mode during the second sister fight at the very end, but I don't know if I lowered it during the Ninth Sister and then raised it again. I don't know. It was a tough fight anyway. No, sorry. I did beat her on Jedi Knight difficulty, which is still pretty low, but you know. She's a tough one for sure. Next is the Second Sister. Unpredictable, unrelenting, and agile with a lightsaber. Parry, block, evade, and attack. A relentless Imperial Inquisitor, the Second Sister is cunning and highly intelligent. Her curious nature and sociopathic charisma allow her to patiently manipulate almost any adversary into revealing their weakness and fears. Be wary as she sadistically toys with her prey before a fierce, agile strike. Yeah, she kind of broke me at the end. It's a very tough fight. Like, it's the very final fight of the game, so of course it's hard, but to me it felt annoyingly difficult because you have no time to recover really, and I feel like most of her attacks were not easy to telegraph. So yeah. And lastly, the OG, if you will, Darth Vader. Few survive an encounter with the most powerful Sith in the galaxy. Escape is the only chance of survival. Darth Vader, the sinister Dark Lord of the Sith, is a mysterious figure amongst the Empire. Encounters with this machine-like man are rare and mostly deadly. Trained in the dark side of the Force, Vader governs over the Inquisitorius. Yeah. It was a cool moment when he showed up, because I wasn't expecting it. But it was a bit dulled by the fact that that it was right after the second sister fight, so I was still a bit frustrated because of that fight, and then yeah, him showing up was cool, but it would have been cooler if the second sister fight had gone better. Anyway, that's all for the Empire enemies. Moving on to Bogano. And first up is the Bog Rat. Will burrow into the ground as a deception before attacking. Easy to parry, avoid being surrounded. A common pest, the bog rat is a simple predator that feeds off small creatures like boglings. Their poor eyesight makes them easy prey to their natural enemy, the octo. Often attacking in packs, they will surround their foes in numbers. Appearing to retreat, they are known to burrow below ground as a sly defense before springing to attack, surprising their prey. Their hardened skin makes them somewhat resistant to lightsaber attacks. Next is the Octo. Sever the tongue with the combination of the Force and lightsaber attacks. Highly dangerous, lightsaber resistant. The Octo is a highly threatening alpha predator at the top of the Bogano food chain. This creature attacks with an adhesive tongue capable of reaching 8 meters in length, that latches onto its prey, then pulls them into its jaws. This form of strike is particularly effective against most foes. Due to its thick hide, it's able to resist a straight-on lightsaber attack, and is extremely dangerous at close range, often leaping at a target to close the distance. Next is the Splox. Attack in large groups and able to contort. Evasive strikes but easily killed. Splox are large, agile insects usually found in groups and known to launch coordinated attacks to overwhelm their prey. They are omnivorous and use small, thin, sprite-like wings quickly stagger their enemies, providing time for others in the pack to strike. And lastly, for Bogano is the Octo-Bogdo. Sever the tongue with a combination of the force and lightsaber attacks. Highly aggressive, tremendous speed, powerful stamina, and lightsaber resistance. The rare Octo-Bogdo is a fiendishly formidable abomination, even deadlier than its common relative. This hyper-aggressive predator attacks with ferocity, constantly maneuvering toward its prey to inflict greater injury at close range. The creature's speed and stamina are unmatched, making it difficult to parry or strike its lightsaber resistance shell straight on. Okay, that's it for Bogano. Let's move on to Zeffo. First is the Skaz. Capable of two different attacks, will bite at a prey's heel or lock them down with a leap that cannot be blocked. Opportunistic, often surrounding prey when they are locked down. Skaz are most commonly found in the shade or dark areas, where they can maintain cooler body temperatures. Due to poor vision, they are especially vulnerable in bright light. They are most dangerous in packs, often biting and locking their jaws onto prey, providing an opportunity for the others to strike. Next is the Villak. When provoked, Villak's low vision makes it difficult to change course, often crashing into rocks when charging. Villak hooves adapted to keep them steady in mountain passes, making them resistant to the push and pull of Zeffo's high winds. Villaks are masterful climbers, able to move with ease on mountain paths. Solitary by nature, they leave their mother's side early to find their own territory. The horns on their heads are their greatest weapon. When two Villaks clash, the sound thunders across the mountains. As they age, their horns steadily grow, adding a new ring for each year of their lives. Next is the Jotaz. Strong but slow, strike after dodging any attack. Rapid strikes and or unconventional attacks will enrage and confuse the creature. The Jotaz is a formidable and highly aggressive predator that utilizes brute strength to establish supremacy. A thick hide provides armor-like defensive support, but vulnerabilities may exist along the abdomen region, where the skin is thinnest. What this creature lacks in speed is supplemented by forceful blows and an impressive reach of long forearms. Next is the Skungus. Avoid contact, moving carefully around central pod. Explosive core may be utilized as a defense against other enemies. Skungus are parasitic plant-like organisms containing explosive toxic spores, which may detonate when a threat approaches. Smaller pods burrow underground in clusters to comprise a larger central hive. Known for their putrid smell and soft brain-like tissue, various forms of this invasive species exist. Next is the Tomb Guardian. Strong, slow, and protected by a central power core. When glowing, power core may be removed with external force and careful skill, allowing a critical attack on the Guardian. An ancient automaton constructed by the Zeffo. It is believed the Tomb Guardian's central function was to protect sacred sites. As details of their abilities remain mysterious, if encountered, one should proceed with extreme caution. Cold and indifferent, they attack not out of malice or defense, but from a programmed response to intruders. Known for powerful, unblockable strikes, they can prove especially threatening in limited areas, without space to dodge their attack. Their primary vulnerability appears to be the power core located above their central abdomen. Any disruption of the core should provoke a shutdown. And lastly for Zeffo is the Rabid Jotaz. Strong but slow, strike after dodging any attack. Rapid strikes and or unconventional attacks will enrage and confuse the creature. The Rabid Jotaz is a violent, diseased berserker capable of inflicting critical damage on anything within range. This super aggressive beast, or do I keep saying aggressive? This super aggressive beast is able to strike with an extra powerful flurry, swinging its arms with extended reach. Despite its horrific condition, its thick hide provides armor-like resistance, although some areas along the abdomen may be vulnerable. Okay, moving on to Dathomir. First is the Baneback Spider, capable of launching ranged attacks of venomous saliva. Upon death, the corpse will emit a toxic acid. The vile Baneback Spider is a venomous foe to be reckoned with. Primarily a hole dweller, they are known to skitter and climb with agility. When encountered, they can project venomous saliva at enemies with a range of up to 12 meters. Caution should be taken if they are killed due to emission of a toxic acid that will pool out from the corpse upon death. Next is the Lesser Nidak. Uphold a strong defense against its aggressive and relentless attacks. Easily thrown off by repeated parries. Referred to in legend as the Scourge of Dathomir, the deadly Lesser Nidak is an agile and highly aggressive alpha predator. Its carnivorous appetite and relentless pursuit of prey make it a deadly foe to nearly all other life forms. Powerful arms allow it to traverse terrain in diverse and unparalleled methods, often surprising its quarry. Next, the Night Brother Warrior. Skilled and nimble, strong defense is advised, including mindful opportunities to strike. Dodge their unblockable overhead attack. Night Brothers are a male warrior subspecies of the Sabrax, based on Dathomir. For centuries, their simple society was governed by Night Sisters, witches that ruled the planet, but were decimated during the Clone Wars. Territorial and extremely hostile to outsiders, fighters in their ranks are highly acrobatic, agile, and proficient in a variety of mixed combat. Next is the Night Brother Archer. Dodge unblockable charged energy bow projectiles. Deflects or reflects normal shots from energy bow. A society of male warriors, the Night Brothers are a subspecies of Zabrax based on Dathomir. For centuries, their society existed in loyal reverence to the Night Sisters, witches that ruled the planet, but were decimated during the Clone Wars. Extremely hostile to outsiders, Night Brothers are skilled fighters proficient with a variety of weapons. Among their ranks may be found archers, capable of launching ranged energy bow attacks with deadly accuracy. Next, the Undead Night Sister. Relentless, able to leap, and highly aggressive against their targets. Attack in swarms, avoid becoming surrounded. Few have seen an undead Night Sister and survived. It is believed these mummified warriors emerge from the burial pods of ancient Night Sister graveyards on foul eaves or under command of a witch's incantation. They are known to be hostile to all life except their Night Sister masters. Upon sight of their prey, they release a piercing scream, calling all nearby undead. They attack in frenzied swarms, clawing and biting their way through flesh. Next is the Nidak Alpha. Powerful limbs cannot be severed. Defense against multiple parries. The highly dangerous Nidak Alpha is a reclusive yet relentless beast. Dominant over its lesser kind, this carnivorous alpha predator balances strength and intelligence to defend against multiple parries. Its muscular forearms are reinforced with a resistant hide over a hardened, nutrient-enriched bone, making them versatile for climbing, asymmetrical traversal, and unable to be severed. Next, the Gorgara. Target swap to attack vulnerable areas. Pull Gorgara into the ground during highlighted moments to stun her. The apex predator known as Gorgara, the winged demon of the canyon, employs trickery and versatility while soaring to dizzying heights and scouring the deepest crags. A thick armored hide makes her resistant to straight-on attacks, but certain areas may become vulnerable during combat. She is known to latch onto prey with a fierce grip, hoisting them into the air on her powerful wings. And lastly, for Dathomir, Taron Malakos. Attacks frequently and continuously, using the Force to strike from a distance. Use extreme caution. Keep an eye on him at all times. Some attacks may be parried. Once a formidable Jedi general, Malakos escaped the horrific purge of Order 66. A trained motivator and cunning tactician, he maintains a composed demeanor during combat, but will strike with ferocity and deliberate precision. Full of surprises, he utilizes his mastery of the Force with an extended assault, or as a precursor to his lightsaber attack, including a combination of dual spontaneously combust in close proximity or upon death. The pesky flame beetle is a flying insectoid known for its bioluminescent combustible posterior. These creatures synthesize chemicals derived from local flora into a highly flammable derivative. Extreme caution should be exercised when in close proximity. Next is the Kashyyyk. Attack from behind while creature is distracted by other prey. Parry its lunge attack to quickly strike it down. Kashyyks are highly intelligent, multi-legged predators. They are found to be extremely aggressive to most sentient life forms, and known to cast an adhesive enzyme that incapacitates their prey in a web-like stasis, allowing them to strike with their sharp and venomous fangs. Wisely outsmarting any foe, they often lower quickly from forest canopies or burrow to the surface from underground cover. If possible, prey should avoid any web strike, but if caught, fight to escape before the Kashyyyk closes in. Their hostility may provide strategic opportunities for a surprise attack from behind. Although capable of quick maneuvering, they occasionally find themselves susceptible to strikes in the head or appendages. Next is the jaw plant. Lightsaber can slice through jaws. If trapped within, strength and creativity may prevail. The jaw plant of Kashyyyk is a carnivorous flora found in damp and darkened regions of the Shadowlands. It is known to emit a powerful scent that stimulates hunger receptors in potential targets, luring them closer with the promise of food as bait. When prey appears within range, its quick snapping jaws will spring closed, trapping and devouring them whole. Next is the Sleek. I don't know how you say it. Attacks are slow. Dodge or outrun them. Avoid toxic excretion. Sleeks are large carnivorous gastropods. Although they may be found in most temperate environments, they prefer areas that are cool and damp, especially thriving in thick vegetation, small bodies of water, caves, and crevices. They emit a toxic, sludge-like excretion that should be avoided. Next is the Sava, capable of extending towards prey within reach or close contact, resistant to laceration, including lightsaber. The Sava is a snake-like flora, primarily located in the Shadowlands of Kashyyyk. Parasitic by nature, they are capable of slowly extending the length of their body toward prey within reach or close contact. Their vine-like skin is resistant to any laceration and upon contact will attach itself to a host, supplying themselves with nutrients for months or sometimes years. They are slow at expanding and quick to attract at any signs of danger. Next is the Mikal, I suppose. These were really annoying. I never liked fighting them. Be wary of sweeping attacks, utilizing the opportunity to counter if parried. Close the distance by pulling them in using the force. menacing Mikal is an opportunistic flying predator known for sweeping attacks from the sky. Long considered a delicacy among Wookiee elders, which maintained equilibrium within the species, their numbers have flourished under Imperial occupation. A nimble, aerodynamic acrobat, the creature instinctively avoids retaliation from prey with a balance of cunning, grace, and deadly skill. And lastly, for Kashyyyk is the albino Weeshok. Vulnerable to attacks from behind, bite attack can be blocked. Lurking in the subterranean darkness, the vile albino Weeshok is a rare but insidious horror to encounter. Feeding off the brains of its prey for centuries, this nasty, venom-spewing atrocity is far more aggressive than its common cousin. Highly intelligent and capable of super speed, this Weeshok's lunge attack is more vicious and dangerous. Okay, and then the last section is the Haxion Brood. With, first off, the Haxion Brood bounty hunter frequently combines blaster fire, missiles, and flamethrower. Engage with caution. Relies heavily on jetpack. Destroy jetpack to disable. I should have read this while playing the game. I never knew you could destroy the jetpack. But they were always easy enough to kill because I was playing on essentially easy difficulty, so I guess on higher difficulties, you would have had to be a bit more strategic. Menacing bounty hunters of all kinds make up the Haxion Brood. Augmented with droid parts and jetpacks, they are driven by both the massive reward and the thrill of the hunt, chasing only the most dangerous prey. Cocky and self-assured, they haven't lost a bounty yet and don't intend to. Next is the Haxion Brood Commando. Frequently mixing blaster fire, flashbang grenades, shield attacks, and repulsor blasts. Engage with caution. Their shield protects against lightsaber attacks, but only when activated. Commandos are among the muscle for the vile criminal gang, the Haxion Brood. Crawling from the seediest corners of the galaxy, bounty hunters of this variety are infamous for their violent reputation. Augmented with smuggled droid parts, they are unwavering combatants who combine superior skills with a deadly arsenal. And the very last entry, the Haxion Brood Bounty Droid. Burly and heavily built, its forceful attacks will affect even the toughest defenses. Evade charge attacks to expose opportunity for back attacks. Deadly Haxion Brood Bounty Droids are part of the vile criminal gang, the Haxion Brood. Assembled from smuggled and stolen parts, they serve as repurposed droid enforcers for the Brood. Cocky and aggressive, they attack as rugged pugilists, often taunting their foes. Alright, and that was everything really. So, yeah. this will indeed be the last video of this game. Now I'm really tired and looking forward to going to bed. Then maybe tomorrow or whenever I can delete this game from my PlayStation and install Hogwarts Legacy. But yeah, this will be it for this video. As always, thank you very much for watching and for listening. I hope you enjoyed this series of Fallen Order as much as I enjoyed making it. Yeah. Talk to you very soon in the next video. And have a good night.